Welcome back to What's New with ME, your go-to spot to the latest headlines, served up with a bit of humor, a dash of empathy, and always a solid reality check. I'm your host, Ali Madawi. Buckle up, because we've got a lot to cover today. Segment 1, Greenland grumblings. All right, so let's kick things off with the chilly topic of Greenland. President Trump is once again stirring up the pot by suggesting that he and the United States should acquire Greenland, and he is even nudging Europe and Europeans' allies to support the idea. Now, this has everyone from European leaders to Greenlanders to themselves raising some eyebrows. In fact, about 85% of folks in Greenland are like, no, thanks. We are good with Denmark. 15% want to join us. Meanwhile, Trump's own base, who voted for America first, is feeling a bit puzzled. They're wondering why we're talking about buying icy territories when they were promised more focused conversations on affordability and transparency here at home. So yeah, these approval ratings now is about 39%, the lowest it's been. And this Greenland talk is definitely part of that conversation. Segment 2. Epstein files frustrations. Let's dive into the ongoing saga of the Epstein files. The Department of Justice has finally released, as you know, some documents, but it's a big but. They are heavily redacted, and it's just a tiny fraction of what people were hoping to see. So if you were expecting full transparency, you're probably feeling a bit less down. Commentators on the news are calling it a half measure, and they're growing frustration that the Clintons have not responded to the subpoena related to the case. In short, it's another area where folks are saying, hey, we need more openness and clarity, and they're not getting any of it. Segment 3, Iran's unrest and the UN moves on. So the Iran issue, things are pretty intense over there with major protests leading to thousands of deaths. The United Nations is stepping in, trying to address the violence, and there's a lot of debate about how the U.S. should respond. Some commentators are pushing for a stronger U.S. stance, while others are urging caution. It's a delicate situation, and it is already highlighting the huge political issue. Everyone's got an opinion, but no action is clear. And human costs, extremely high. So we need to talk about peaceful options. Segment 4. The Fed chair shakeup. So speaking of tie throats, let's talk about the Federal Reserve. President Trump is considering replacement of Jerome Powell as the Fed chair, and there's a lot of short list of candidates already lined up. This has sparked a lot of chatter about the independence of the Fed and what it could mean for the economy. Some folks are worried it could shake up the markets, while others think it's just another day in Washington, baby. Either way, it's another piece that puzzles the economy and economic policy and how it could shift for the next months to come. Segment 5, church protests and personal reflection of mine. Now, let's address something that hits close to home and for many of us. Recently, there was a protest inside a church in Minnesota targeting an ICE-related issue. Look, we all have our own opinions on politics, but disturbing a place of worship when families are gathered is just not okay. I personally find it pretty frustrating, disgusting, might I add, and honestly disrespectful. We can have strong opinions and still respect spaces where people find peace. So let's aim for a bit more compassion and a lot less chaos when it comes to these sensitive spaces. So in conclusion, remember, my goodness, that was a mouthful. No matter how heated things get, we can always keep the conversation thoughtful and a little more human. If you enjoyed this show and you want to dive deeper into all topics that we talk about, head over to themestudios.net. And that's where you will find more content of yours truly, behind the scene looks, and all the way that can keep you informed and also entertained. So thanks for tuning in into What's New with ME. Stay informed, stay kind, and we will see you next time. Peace.
Still marketing your business like it's the Yellow Pages era? Welcome to ME Studios, where local solopreneurs and small business owners catch up with the digital world and take over it. We help you go from invisible to undeniable. Featured on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Audible, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Music. Plus, gain press exposure in over 100 to 300 major media outlets like Fox, ABC, CBS, NBC, and the CW. Right here in Eatontown, New Jersey, just steps away from the soon-to-be Netflix studios, our multi-unit facility is built for creators, entrepreneurs, and visionaries. Stop marketing like it's 1995. Start building your digital authority today with a team that gets it.